Welcome. Welcome to the live stream. I think I need a name for the podcast. We're going to come up with a name for the podcast. Put in the comments what the name of my show should be, because I'm spitting facts on here. And as you see on the title of the video, the role of iron in the body, but more specifically and more importantly, how to increase your energy levels in the biochemistry of energy. Yeah, I came up with that name myself. The biochemistry of energy. And the reason why this stream right here is so important is because your energy levels really dictate everything about your life. Your energy levels dictate every single thing that you do. What is the first thing you think about? Do I have enough energy to do this? If you needed to go to the store and your car is broke down for some reason, right? Before you walk to the store, you're going to calculate in your mind how much energy do you have and how much energy is this going to deplete? Is it worth it, or should I get an Uber? And more specifically, when it comes to, excuse me, more specifically, when it comes to, should I work out today? Should I go to the gym? Do I want to eat this donut or do I want to eat this salad? How early am I going to wake up in the morning? All of these things play a pivotal role when it comes to energy levels, or energy levels play a pivotal role when it comes to your daily activities and what you do, how you do it, when you do it. Energy is the most fundamental piece of the puzzle when it comes to what you're doing for the day, right? I get messages all the time saying, Justin, my energy levels are low. And more specifically, what I want to talk about is I had a question from one of my coaching clients that I work with more closely, right? Of course, I do YouTube. Of course, I'm a influencer. I'm a YouTuber and all this, but I actually coach people one-on-one to help them accomplish their fitness goals. And I got a question from one of my clients, and they were telling me my energy levels have been low for more than a couple weeks. And it's been very dreadful. It's been very terrifying. It's been very difficult. And they were telling me this, right? And I asked a couple questions, a series of questions to figure out what the problem could be, right? And one thing that came to my mind when it comes to energy are three things. So I want to give you three keys to how to increase your energy levels. Three keys to energy and the biomechanics and the biochemistry behind it. All right. But let's talk about this. Why is this important? Because when it comes to energy levels, and when it's a disruption in the body, excuse me, people always want to put a mask on the problem or put a band-aid on the problem. It's the band-aid over the problem type of scenario. All right. The band-aid over the problem type scenario. What do I mean by this? A more specific example is when you have a headache, what do? You go to the cabinet and you get the Advil, the aspirin, the Excedrin, whatever the case may be, and you take that and you're under the assumption that the headache is gone. You're under the assumption that the headache is gone. But in actuality, the headache is still persisting. And actually, what caused the headache is still the disruption in the body. So it's still wreaking havoc on your body, and you have no idea because the headache is gone. I put a band-aid on the problem. So you feel like everything is okay when actuality is not. Same thing with energy level. Same thing with your energy. Low energy level is a symptom of a bigger problem. Do you understand that? So if your energy level is low and you go drink some coffee, the problem is still there. You just put a band-aid on it, just like the person with a headache put a band-aid on it when they took the Advil. Okay. And I'm going to give you 3 keys to make sure you can increase your energy levels the right way. So you don't have to rely on coffee for the rest of your life. You don't have to rely on energy pills for the rest of your life. You don't have to rely on all these substances that are just putting a band-aid on the problem. All right. So number one, the first key to increasing your energy, biochemistry of energy, is going to be B vitamins. B vitamins. All right. You know what B vitamins are. You've heard of B vitamins. More specifically, you probably heard of B12. You don't know nothing about the other B vitamins. Let's be real. You probably don't know anything about the other B vitamins, right? But it's a spectrum when it comes to B vitamins. B12 is just one of the vitamins on that spectrum, aka cobalamin, right? That's the technical term, cobalamin, right? And if you're vegan, you better be taking B vitamins. Like if you're not, no wonder why your energy levels are low. Okay, let's be honest. But don't worry, Uncle Justin is here to take care of you, and I'm gonna help you out. So I'm gonna share my screen and let's talk about this. Why B vitamins are important. Okay, let's look at this. Let's really take a look at this. And I got science here. I'm not just talking out the side of my neck. When I do these live streams, I'm really giving you science. All right. So let's look at here. So right here, B vitamins in the nervous system. All right. Synergies of thiamine, pyridoxine, and cobalamin. Right. Just got through talking about cobalamin. But more specifically, we're talking about energy. Now, all these B vitamins that I'm going to talk about have a whole spectrum of benefits. B12 is different from B1, B6 is different from B2, but we're going to talk about the most important one when it comes to energy production specifically, right? Let's go down here. Let's stroll. All right. Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? B1, right? B1, aka thiamine, right? B1, aka thiamine, right? Associated with the nervous system. Now, the reason why thiamine is very important, is because what thiamine does, it's a glucose metabolism type of vitamin, all right? And it helps cellular metabolism, and it helps synthesize sugar to produce energy in the body, all right? But let's read it. I can tell you this, but I want you to really see the science, all right? So right here, where we at? Thiamine is one of the largest contributors to cellular energy metabolism. Cellular energy metabolism. Why is this important? Because what happens is when you eat food, it breaks down into carbohydrates. All food breaks down into sugar. Don't let these keto fanatics lie to you. All food breaks down into simple sugars. And those sugars go straight to the brain. It crosses the blood-brain barrier, goes into the brain. Actually, 80% of everything you eat goes to the brain because the brain is the largest organ, most important organ, right? So the conversion of carbohydrates helps provide energy to the nerve cells, right? The conversion of carbohydrates provides energy to the nerve cells, right? So when you eat something, it goes to the brain and it needs to cross that blood-brain barrier. And thiamine helps that process to convert those carbohydrates or that food into energy in the form of ATP. And if you look down here, these processes provide the nerves with energy, mainly in the form of ATP, adenosine triphosphate, and NAD, right? And NAD, which is nicotinamide adenidide nucleotide phosphate. Say that 10 times fast and I give you $100, right? I've tried. I've tried. It's impossible, right? So when you talk about energy production, when you talk about energy production, most coaches and most nutritionists, all they talk about is ATP, right? Adenosine triphosphate, right? That's what they mainly talk about. But it's another form of energy. It's another form of energy, which is NAD, which I just got through showing you, right? NAD, which is nicotinamide adenidide nucleotide phosphate. It's another form of energy, right? And this is very important, very important. And the way to produce this energy in the body is to make sure you're getting B vitamins, aka B1. B1 helps the conversion in the synthesis of glucose in the body so that glucose can enter the cells to produce ATP and NAD. And when your body produces ATP and NAD, you have energy. This is where energy comes from. So if you're fatigued throughout the day, you low energy throughout the day, you want to make sure you're getting, you want to make sure your B1 levels are high enough, right? You want to make sure your B1 levels aren't super, super low. This is very important right here, right? This is very important right here. So this is why this is super important. So the reason why I'm making a live stream about this is because I had a client, like I mentioned just a few seconds ago, and she was telling me that her energy levels were super low. Okay. She said she went to the doctor, and the doctor has been telling her for weeks upon weeks upon weeks that the reason why her energy levels are low and she doesn't feel super good is because of iron. All right. And we're going to talk about iron. Trust me. Trust me. We are going to talk about iron, right? Because that's very relevant as well. But I want to stick on B vitamins for a second because her doctor's telling her that her iron levels are not high, which can be an issue. And it's probably an issue as well. But I asked her, what about B vitamins? She told me that the doctor didn't even check for B vitamins, except for B12, of course. And the reason why this is a problem is because, for one, doctors are not the enemy. Doctors are not evil. They just have so much going on that they don't have time to check for every single vitamin and mineral in the body. It will literally take them all day, every day to do that for each and every patient that they have. So this isn't a fault at the doctor. And also, doctors only get about 6 months of nutritional training when they're in medical school. Doctors are here and there to fix the problems when they arise, to tell you what to do when inevitably they find a problem, right? But nutritionists, healers, and health scientists such as myself are here to show you how to prevent these problems and how to work with your body to reverse these issues. Okay. And the reason why this is important, because I told my client, I told her, look, you want to go to the doctor and you want to tell them to check for your B vitamins, check for your B vitamin levels, more specifically B1, thiamine, and see if that's low. Because I have a hunch, I have a very important hunch that he isn't, that they didn't check for B vitamins, right? Because if they didn't check for B vitamins and your B vitamins levels are low, it doesn't matter how much iron you get. If your B vitamin levels are low, don't care. It doesn't matter how much iron, how much kale, how much iron fluorine you get, you're still going to be low energy. All right. So we have to check for that. So this is number one. Number one, you want to make sure your B vitamin levels are where they need to be if you want to increase your energy levels. All right. This is high level information right here. High level information. No one's giving information like this. All right. So that's number one. That's number one. Number two, let's talk about iron. Let's get to iron. Let's talk about iron. What most people do wrong when it comes to iron, all right? Let me get my other slide. What most people do wrong when it comes to iron is they forget about copper. So you can eat a whole bunch of high iron foods, right? But if you forget about copper, it doesn't matter how much iron you get because copper helps synthesize iron as well. But what does iron do in the body? Iron facilitates hemoglobin and helps transport oxygen to the areas that it needs to go. And oxygen production is very important for energy production. If you have no oxygen, you have no energy. And without iron, you're not going to be able to get those oxygen cells to the areas that it needs to go. It's not going to be able to transport. But copper is a precursor to that process happening. Okay, so you need copper as well. But let's look at the science. All right, let's look at the science. So let's go down here. I'm not going to bore you with this whole process right here. Let's go down. Here we go. Boom. So brain metal homeostasis is carefully regulated by an elegant series of influx and efflux transports because while essential, excess copper and iron can lead to neuropathy. These transporters are especially critical in the brain with metal flux requires passage through multiple membranes, neurovascular unit, often called the blood-brain barrier. It's very important, all right? Now, right here, current working models suggest that copper is taken up by the blood, okay, transferred across the blood-brain barrier by ATP. We just got through talking about ATP. ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Likewise, copper is taken up, which is enriched across the surface of the choroidal plexus, right? Choroid plexus, excuse me. Location and abundance appears to be enhanced following copper restriction. Okay. Transport of copper across this area is greater than the blood-brain barrier. Brain also contains ATP. This is all correlated together, right? All correlated together. ATP is a form of energy along with NAD. But without copper, this process can't happen. All right. So down here, the transport of oxygen from blood to brain is somewhat controversial. The role of Fe and TF versus NTBI, particularly with respect to the presence of DMT, all right, in the cells. Okay. Now, the reason why this is important is because without copper, iron can't do its job, right? So if your iron levels are low, it may not be due to the fact that you're not getting a lot of iron rich foods. It could be that the iron is not in the presence of copper. So you need copper as well. So iron can do its job. You need copper as well. So you can actually make this process happen. So you can actually So iron can actually transport those oxygen cells to the areas that it needs to go, so you can actually have energy in the form of ATP or NAD, right? Because ATP isn't the only energy source of the body. And also NAD is an effective form of energy. Also, it helps DNA production and also DNA replication. Why is DNA replication important? DNA replication is important because if you want to have children, you need DNA replication to be strong. You need that process. So copper is a precursor to all of those things. As well with B vitamins as well. More specifically, thiamine or AKA B1. All right. This is all very, very important. Now, so this is number 2. Number 1, you want to make sure you're getting B vitamins, more specifically B1, by the way of thiamine. Thiamine helps the glucose metabolism in the cells to produce ATP and NAD. B vitamins helps this process. Number 2, what we're talking about right now, iron can be high in the body, but if it's not accompanied by copper, iron can't do its job. So if you're low energy, the reason why this is important, because if you're low energy throughout the day, or you know someone that's super low energy, like my client that I'm talking about, right, is one of these 3 issues. Maybe it's only one of these things. Maybe you have iron circulating in your body and you have copper circulating in your body. Then you want to focus on the B vitamin aspect. I'm just giving you different ways. I'm hitting it from all different angles. I'm hitting it from all different angles for you. Pause. So you can have more of a reference point. When most people talk about energy production, they're very surface level, right? They're very, very surface level. Most people think B12 is what helps produce energy. B12 does it in a small sense, but more importantly, B1 is more of an energy precursor than B12. Also, iron, people think that iron is so important, which it is, but without copper, iron can't do its job. They go hand in hand, but nobody ever talks about copper. Okay. I'm bringing y'all this real science right here. So those are 2 things. Next, we're going to get into the nitty gritty. All right. So if I share my screen right here, let me see. Now I'm giving y'all all this game right here, but a lot of times people don't believe me because look, I'm just a black guy with dreadlocks. All right. Sometimes you need to hear from an old white guy, right? You need to hear from an old white guy to really believe that this is really true. Right. So what I want to show you next is B vitamins and iron. All right. Both of those things are super, super good. But if your digestive system is not working properly, you can't absorb the B vitamins, you can't absorb the iron, you can't absorb these things. So you're going to lose by default, right? You want to lose by default. So I want to show you a video I did that went super, super viral like a few months ago, right? Went super, super viral a few months ago. And it talks about the digestive system. Okay. Talks about the digestive system. I want to show you my video first, then I want to show you another video that actually correlates with what I'm saying. All right. So right here is a video of mine on Facebook that went viral. I think it's up at like 1 million views right now. All right. I'll put the link in the description below. but it's up to like a million views right now. Let's listen to it. Burning belly fat. The number one key is going to be enzymes, all right? Dietary enzymes in your gut is what breaks down the food. You have three kinds: amylase, which breaks down carbs; you have protease, which breaks down protein; you have lipase, which breaks down fat. And one of the best ways to make sure you get enough enzymes in your diet is papaya enzymes, all right? You can get you some papaya enzymes right here from Whole Foods. And look, if you look on the back, it has papain, amylase, protease, and you can get all of enzymes that you need to make sure you reduce all the bloating so you can start burning some belly fat. One more content like this, drop 2 fire emojis in the comments. Yo, how to stop bloating and start burning belly fat. The number one key is, now I'm talking about burning belly fat in improving your gut health in this video with papaya enzymes. But the reason why papaya and papaya enzymes reduce bloating and burns belly fat is because it helps the digestive system. Like I was mentioning, it has amylase, protease, and lipase, which are three digestive enzymes that helps you digest the food. Amylase breaks down carbs, protease breaks down breaks down protein, and lipase breaks down fat, right? So those three enzymes that's in papaya helps break down the food that you eat. So the reason why that's important is because even if you're getting B vitamins, even if you're getting iron, if you're not breaking down the foods properly, you're not going to be able to utilize those foods to increase your energy levels. So you need to make sure your digestive system is working properly first. And to do that is to get you some papaya enzymes. Now, I wanted to show you my video talking about this. I made this video months ago and it went super viral. Now, to make it more believable, I'm going to show you an old white person saying the same exact thing. Because look, people be like, what do you know, Justin? The fact of I do research all day, every day. We'll take away that. I do research all day, every day. Been doing this for close to a decade, 7 years, been doing this. But sometimes you need an old white person to explain it for people to believe you. They don't believe it coming from somebody with locks, right? So I'll show you an old white person saying the same exact thing. Okay. Sorry. So this is Andrew Humerin, neuroscientist.
Supplements include, of course, vitamin and mineral supplements, but has expanded over the last decade or more to also include supplements that have vitamins and minerals, but also things like digestive enzymes. And again, here we have an example where indeed you can get digestive enzymes from foods. For instance, eating a bit of papaya or even a little bit of pineapple.
Whoa, did he say you get digestive enzymes from papaya, just like I said? Oh, he's saying the same thing you're saying, Justin. Wow. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Let's keep on.
Can assist in the digestion of certain aspects of macronutrients because these are naturally occurring enzymes that help digest things like carbohydrates, fats, and proteins.
What? Did he just say the same exact thing I said? Hold on. Let's go back to my video. Right? Let's go back to my video. Let's go back to my video. All right. Going to be enzymes, all right? Dietary enzymes in your gut is what breaks down the food. You have three kinds: amylase, which breaks down carbs; you have protease, which breaks down protein; you have lipase, which breaks down fat. You know, sometimes it just looks better coming from an older white person. You know, it just looks better coming from an older white person sometimes, right?
And there are other food-based sources of enzymes. You're welcome to look those up online. If you just put food-based sources of enzymes, and you'll find those. But nowadays, a lot of the foundational supplements will include papain, or they will include different lipases, or anytime you hear the word ACE, by the way, it means an enzyme. An enzyme is designed to break down or to catalyze some sort of reaction. in biology and in nutrition in particular. So you can find foundational supplements that include vitamins and minerals, and has expanded over the last decade or more in some cases, such as meat, eggs, vitamins and minerals, but also things like digestive enzymes.
So why is this important? Because even if you're getting the right type of vitamins and minerals, if you're not absorbing them, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. People come to me telling me, hey, I don't know if I'm getting enough protein a lot of times, right? Most of the time, what I do is tell them, hey, go start eating some papaya or get some papaya enzymes. That way I know for sure you're absorbing all of the grams of protein that you're getting, right? Then come back to me a week later after you start taking some papaya enzymes. Then come back to me a week later and tell me, do you still have the same problem, right? Go take some enzymes first before you tell me, hey, I'm getting protein, I'm eating protein foods, but I'm not building muscle. Well, go get some digestive enzymes first to make sure your digestive system is working properly, right? Then come back to me, and then we can figure it out. Okay. So I wanted to show you this first. Okay. I wanted to show you this first because the last tip on increasing your energy levels, all right, the last tip on increasing your energy levels is making sure your digestive system is working properly, right? Because if that's not working, nothing else I told you on this live stream will work. Nothing else is going to work. The B vitamins isn't going to work. The iron, the copper isn't going to work. So you have to focus on this. And I left this for last to really bring everything together. All right. To bring everything together. So that's why this is very important. Okay. That's why this is very, very, very important. So to recap, right? To recap. Number one, if your energy levels are low throughout the day, stop putting a band-aid on the problem. Cut it out. Cut out the coffee, cut out the energy drinks. Now, I'm not saying those things are bad because I drink coffee from time to time. I take pre-workouts from time to time. But when I don't take those things, my energy levels are okay. I just take those because I'm a fitness crazy person. Right? I take them just because I want to. But I can go in the gym without any type of stimulant and be okay. The problem for most people is they're using them as a crutch, band-aid on the problem, or Advil on the headache. Right? Let's bring this home. Let's make this make sense. All right. So the 3 ways to increase your energy levels. All right. Number 1, make sure your digestive system is working properly. Papaya enzymes, pineapples. Those 2 things are good. Just eat those fruits. Or you can go get you a papaya enzyme, a supplement base. Use that. All right, that's number 1. Number 2, iron. Make sure your iron levels are good. Eating things like kale, any fruit or vegetable with a green pigment, dark green pigment, or dark leafy greens, you're going to get enough iron. Then, if that's not working, increase your copper levels, right? And reason why I said don't do those 2 things at the same time, because too much copper and too much iron can start causing problems. So start eating more iron-rich foods. Wait, see if that works. Then get some more copper foods, right? If those 2 things start to improve your situation, you're good to go, right? If not, go to step 3, which is increasing your B vitamin levels, more specifically B1, thiamine, right? Thiamine. Thiamine is the B vitamin that you're going to want because it helps synthesize glucose in the brain, in the cells, to help produce ATP, adenosine triphosphate, and NAD, which is nicotinamide um, phosphate. All right. So I'm trying to pull it up right here. So boom. These processes supply the nerve cells mainly in the form of adenosine triphosphate, ATP, or nicotinamide adenidide nucleotide phosphate. Say that 10 times fast, right? By the means of that, B1 is already indirectly needed for energy consumption synthesis. Right there. It's right there. The proof is all in the pudding. The proof is in the vegan pudding, the pudding pop, right? Without B1, you cannot produce energy by way of cells, right? So this is why I said this part first, because if your energy levels are low, you want to do B vitamins, but you're still going to need to make sure your digestive system is working properly to make sure you're absorbing the B vitamins. Hope this is making sense, right? Hope I'm not confusing anybody. Okay. So once again, step one, digestive enzymes by way of papaya. Number two, um, make sure you're eating iron-rich foods, eating dark leafy greens, right? Then start adding in foods that are high in copper, right, to support that iron production, which is the precursor to iron, which is copper. Make sure you're getting copper foods too, and then you want to make sure you are your B vitamin levels are where they need to be, right? You want to make sure your B vitamin levels are where it needs to be. Okay. Thiamine is such an important vitamin, like for real. Like thiamine is so important. So important. Everyone talks about B12, but nobody talks about B1. Thiamine is like having a superpower. It helps convert glucose. And another thing too, when we talk about the blood-brain barrier or converting glucose into energy by way of B1, without this can cause a lot of problems later in life. So if your energy levels are low right now, that can be a symptom of early onset Parkinson's or dementia, because sugar in the brain that can't get converted into energy, ATP, that doesn't get converted, stays right there. It stays in the brain, which causes Parkinson's, dementia. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Let's see. It's so much information. So if I can't find it right now, I'll definitely put it in the description below, so y'all can read it yourself as well. But it's also a precursor to neurotransmitters, right? So neurotransmitters are things like dopamine, serotonin. And without the production of those two things is what causes things like dementia and Alzheimer's, which is what they're calling type 3 diabetes right now. All right. So you have type 1 diabetes, you have type 2 diabetes. And now they're saying dementia and Parkinson's are type 3 diabetes because it's caused by sugar. All right. So type 1 diabetes is the inability to produce insulin, which is the key to get glucose in the cells, right? So that's type 1. Type 2 is insulin resistance, right? And type 3 diabetes is, too much sugar in the brain, to make it simple, you know? So by getting B1, you're not only increasing your energy levels. So if your energy levels are stable, that's a good way to make sure a good way to make sure that you are protecting your mind and protecting your brain. Okay, it's a good way to make sure you're protecting your brain. So if you're fatigued throughout the day, you want to take care. You don't want to put a band-aid on it for too long, because the older we get, you know, the older we get, problems can start happening. Problems can definitely start happening. B vitamin is just so good for the nervous system. I might just do a whole live on the nervous system, as a whole. Man, it's so fucking fascinating, man. All right. Should I do a whole live stream on the nervous system? Should I do that? Comment below if I should do that. Put it in the chat if I should do a whole live stream on the nervous system. Yeah, but neurotransmitters, right? It's right here. So in the case of B1 deficiency, right? Right? Thiamine, right here. Thiamine deficiency affects the central nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. It's in CNS and PNS. Central nervous system, sympathetic nervous system, and the central nervous system, right? Very important. It can neurological symptoms, like it's important. B vitamins are super important. Nobody seems to talk about it though. Nobody seems to talk about it. You definitely want to make sure, especially if you're vegan or plant-based, you definitely want to make sure your B vitamin levels are good. B12, of course, but B1. And I'm just talking about B1 specifically on this stream. All right. I'll talk about the other B vitamins like niacin and cobalamin and all the other ones on another stream. But I just wanted to talk about this specifically right now because it's important, But other than that, this is how you increase your energy levels. All right. This is how you increase your energy levels. It's light work. It's light work. All right. Light work. Three ways. Make sure your digestive system is working properly, getting the right enzymes. Right. Number two, make sure you have the precursor to iron production in the body, which is copper. Right. Copper. And then number three, to bring it all the way back home, B vitamins, more specifically thiamine or B1. And when you have this triple threat right here, I don't know why I did that, like I'm throwing gang signs. This triple threat, what side? Thiamine, right? Now you can be sure that you're doing everything in your power to make sure you have the right enzymatic properties, right, in your body. So I'm gonna get up out of here. I'm about to go to the park and get some cardio in. I've been doing a whole lot of jump rope lately. It's very good for the VO2 max. I'm getting all crazy with it too. I might go live when I'm at the park. But I'm gonna get a little cardio in. But any questions about any of this before I hop off? Y'all don't have any questions, I'll hop off right now. Just want to see if y'all have any questions. I don't want to leave before y'all have any questions. All right. Because y'all might have a few questions about this important ads.
Will be stored in your system
Crazy
potentially high, is, or at least we should say, can be safe. And again, this is provided that the levels that they're ingesting are not exceedingly high. So the typical vitamin mineral supplement is indeed going to cover any gaps or deficiencies that might arise in the water-soluble vitamins from your food intake. But the reality is that most people are getting enough of the water-soluble vitamins from their food if they are paying attention to a couple of things. And those things are very simple to lay out, regardless of whether or not you're a vegan, a vegetarian, a more traditional omnivore eating from both animal-based and plant-based sources, grains, etc., or even if you're in the pure carnivore or strict, I guess it's called the lion diet, where it's just meat and salt. Regardless of what type of nutrition you follow, you will get vitamins and minerals, but you'll get more or fewer of them depending on the nutritional program you follow. And of course, depending on how often and how much you eat. That's just sort of obvious. It to be variations in quality and sourcing and so forth. I'm not aware of any real differences between the snack foods. It does include snack foods like etc. About 80% or more of your food intake if your goal is health and obtaining adequate amounts of vitamins and minerals. The so-called foundational supplements include, of course, vitamin and mineral supplements, but has expanded over the last decade or more to also include supplements that have vitamins and minerals, but also things like digestive enzymes. And again, here we have an example where indeed you can get digestive enzymes from foods. For instance, eating a bit of papaya or even a little bit of pineapple can assist in the digestion of certain aspects of macronutrients because these are naturally occurring enzymes that help digest things like carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. And there are other food-based sources of enzymes. You're welcome to look those up online. If you just put food-based sources of enzymes and you'll find those. But nowadays, a lot of the foundational supplements will include papain, or they will include different lipases, or anytime you hear the word ACE, by the way, it means an enzyme. An enzyme is designed to break down or to catalyze some sort of reaction in biology and in nutrition in particular. So you can find foundational supplements that include vitamins and minerals and digestive enzymes. And nowadays, more and more, the quality foundational supplements are also including things like adaptogens. And here,
so just wanted to show that one more time. Just wanted to show that one more time. You know what I mean? Peace out. I'm out of here. I hope this was valuable. If it was, give me a like, a comment, and a share. All right. I do all this research to provide y'all with this value right here. Till next time, fuel yourself. Don't fool yourself. Check out the links below. Grab your high protein Dr. Sebi approved meal plan below. Also, if you're looking to go vegan, you want to go plant-based, I have a free how to go vegan master guide in the description below as well. Also, all the research, all the studies that I show are always in the notes below as well. And if you need more direct help, one-on-one help, or just need to be pointed in the right direction when it comes to your health and fitness, you can book a call with me below. Free consultation call with me below to see how I can help you out. All right. So next time, fuel yourself. Don't fool yourself. Peace out, people. I'm out.